Now, yes, this is a video about AEW, but really quickly, look, I don't know, I'll put a timestamp if you don't care about this. You can skip to this time, whatever. I just really wanted to react first to this comment I got on my latest video, where, you know, fans are turning on Cody Rhodes, and this guy here, he says, WWE fans should never politic a champion ever again. Alright? I'm loving his reign, though. Okay? The discourse over a champion they chose, and they turned their back on him. I mean, it happens. It happened. But to be honest, I don't think people are turning their back on Cody, really. I think this... first of all, I've said this before. The whole We Want Cody movement was wildly over-exaggerated. I think that's exactly what the WWE wanted, and they wanted to make it seem like it was bigger than it was. So, you know, obviously Cody fans haven't turned on Cody, and I don't think, like, the majority of fans have. I think for the most part it's just Roman Reigns fans, or just, you know, if you kind of watch WWE from the outside, almost, it kind of just seems like Cody... It felt right in the moment, but not so much now. Anyway, so then he says, I don't watch his segments, really, or his matches, but the content they make from his title reign makes me actually want him to stay champion. Hold on a minute. You just said you loved his reign. You just said you're loving his reign, and people are turning... But you don't watch his segments or his matches? But you want him to stay champion? And then he says, not that the WWE cares what little old me thinks, because their fan base is a bunch of puppets. This is the wildest comment I've ever gotten on my channel. This is a roller coaster. I don't know what to make of this. Okay, hold on a minute. So he says he's loving the reign. And then he says, but he doesn't watch his segments or his matches. But because he doesn't watch his segments or his matches, because they make content, he wants him to stay champion. I don't know how to... What is this guy's channel? Hilarious comment, but this is not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about AEW Collision and how it got an abysmal rating, and also that Shockwave, the new AEW show Shockwave, is apparently going to replace Rampage. That's what I've been hearing all over Twitter. This deal, it's not... You know, it hasn't been announced, this TV deal with AEW. But from what we're hearing, and I mean from what I'm seeing on Twitter, what's happening is they're going to get rid of Rampage, and they're going to have like different AEW shows on different channels. I don't know what the channels are. I didn't never saved. I'm not going to go on Twitter and check right now. I'm tired. I'm just making this video based on what I can remember. And the other thing was they're going to have AEW Shockwave is going to be the new show. It's basically going to be, I don't know, the B show? I don't know what's going to happen with Collision, but anyway, Shockwave is going to come in, and Rampage is going to be gone. So basically, they're going to replace Rampage with Shockwave, but, like, maybe Shockwave is going to be, like, the new Rampage type of thing? And to be honest, I don't care. Because AEW Collision just did, like, 200-something thousand in the ratings. Are we serious right now? Remember, like, there was a time, you know, living in Canada, we don't get Collision weekly, and I'm not going to buy TSN Plus. But, you know, living in Canada, we don't get Collision on a weekly basis. We get Dynamite, and that's it. But Collision, I mean, there was a time when I was like, man, I wish I could watch Collision this week. You know, CM Punk is going to be there, and whatever else is going to be there. Even when Punk left, they did MJF and Kenny Omega on Collision. And I just remember, like, sometimes they'll do things... Well, sometimes they did things, not really recently, but sometimes they did things where I was like, man, I want to see that on Collision. Yeah, I wish I could be there. Wish I could watch it. I mean, but you can say the same thing about Rampage. Rampage used to be an actual secondary show to AEW. It used to Dynamite, rather. It used to be Dynamite and Rampage, and that's what you got. You got your Wednesday, you got your Friday. And then it was, okay, Rampage is pretty much dead in the water. Let's add Collision. Great idea, Tony Khan. Let's add Collision. Then you got Dynamite on Wednesdays, Collision on Saturdays, and those were your two shows. And for a couple of weeks, I mean, yeah, that's how it worked. For a couple of weeks, that's how it worked. You know, you would watch Dynamite, and then you would watch Collision, because CM Punk was your main star on Collision, and you had the Elite, your main stars on Dynamite. and that's the way it worked. And that was okay. But let's be honest, when CM Punk came back, I mean, that was never going to work out. That was never going to work out. And what have we learned from this experience? We've learned that nobody cares about AEW. Not online. Not, journalists, anybody. Nobody. The average viewer, nobody cares about Collision or Rampage. That's what we have learned. That's what I've learned. And how do you fix that problem? You get rid of it! If that's your problem, get rid of the problem! But no. Let's replace Rampage with Shockwave. It's not even replacing Rampage. Let's just take Rampage and kind of spin it into a new thing with a new title. No, this is different from Rampage. Don't worry, guys. This is different. This is Shockwave. This is different from Rampage. This is Shockwave. It's not different. It's the same thing. It's so simple. Now, I understand that, if you're set in a deal, I mean, it's a deal. If you're having Collision on Saturdays, there's nothing really you can do. Like, you can't just end the show. There's a deal. There's a set in stone. There's a, whatever. But why wasn't this new TV deal just, hey, let's just have Dynamite then? Let's forget about Collision. Forget about Rampage. And the fact that Shockwave ever came into somebody's head as an actual idea that AEW could use, as an actual thing that they could do, boggles me. More shows is not the answer. It was never the answer. More stars were never the answer. More wrestlers. I don't even know what to think anymore, but I wish Tony and AEW good luck. But I just don't see how, with this new TV deal, I don't understand how any show aside from Dynamite is living past it. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. But that's all I have to say about that. You let me know what you think in the comments. Are you going to watch Shockwave? Are you going to tune in? Are you still watching Rampage and Collision? I genuinely want to know if anyone is still doing that who watches my channel. That's all I gotta say. Good night.